What's up, guys? It's Rich DeBerry with La Fundación K9, the foundation. Hey, look, here's a different approach. Normally, I do my Kennel Talks outside, but I'm finished. It's hot outside. I came and showered and cleaned up a little bit. But look, let me tell you what's on my mind, man. Like, it's frustrating for me as a breeder that takes pride in what he does. I get a lot of phone calls, and you may have been one of the people that's called me that's purchased a presser or another type of dog, but I get a lot of people that purchase pressers. And a lot of y'all have contacted me first, and you come to me and ask me about buying a dog, and I tell you the price of the dog, and then the price discourages you because you feel in your mind in the beginning that it's a lot of money, until 7-8 months or a year from now happens. Which actually this is what brought this up, man. Like, I asked somebody to reach out to me, and they was like, man, I answered the phone, hey, this Rich. Man, you are the only one. I'm like, I get a lot of weird phone calls, mind you, because y'all hit me on some weird stuff sometimes, but it's all good, I embrace it. But you're like, you're the only one. I'm like, what this dude talking about? I'm like, what you mean, bro? Like, you're the only one that talked about pressers losing their teeth. You're the only one I've ever heard say that. I said, yeah, I've done my research. I mean, I actually learned that when I went to the Canary Islands. But you're the only one. He said, man, let me tell you something. He said, I got a 10-month-old presser, and all the bottom teeth of the dog has fallen out. I was like, what? Guys, here's the deal, man. And you got to think about this. And it could be any breed, and it doesn't even have to do with dogs, just life. Like, it's okay to find deals on certain things. Like, I bargain shop, so I get it. But some things I'm just paying for. Like, that is what it is. So if you buy a dog and it's $2,500, and then you have to spend a year's worth of food on the dog, vet bills, anything that happens with that dog in a year time frame, let's call it you up to $3,500, close to $4,000 for the dog. That's year one. Year two happens, the same thing happens. Another $1,000, $1,500 minimum in the cost of having and maintaining this dog. Then guess what? Something happens genetically to the dog. And so now you got $5,000, $6,000 in the dog, plus whatever the vet bills cost to try to determine and figure out what the issue is that you're having. And now you find out your future plans to breed this dog that you got from this breeder, gone like the wind. So now you got all this money invested into a dog that you can't do what you thought you had in mind you was going to do. Or if it was just even a pet, now the dog can't even really chew food. The dog may not be able to walk because it could have hip dysplasia. You have a dog that you have to continue to invest and spend money on what unnecessary expenses. And I'm not going to be the first person to say that just because you pay more money for a dog that you won't have issues with the dog. That ain't the case. Because you could buy a dog from me and have an issue with the dog, but here's your difference. Here's your separator. This guy called the breeder, and the breeder started blowing him off. Oh man, that must be a one-off. Oh, that didn't really happen. Oh, you got the only dog out the litter. Bruh, that's genetics. You didn't get the only dog out the litter. And this is when I haven't even dug deep into you guys. We're talking about pedigrees and understanding the real history of the dog and not just going off what your breeder says. To understand, like, do your research on these pedigrees. But here's the thing, guys. You pay for it up front and you're dealing with a professional breeder. I offer, and this ain't even about me, but I'm giving you, if you call me and you got a genetic issue like that with your dog and I do a 2-year guarantee, we ain't rapping about it, because if I spent the money personally and I bought a dog from you and you told me how to guarantee, don't give me a whole bunch of slack like, I love this dog, but we got an issue, we got a contractual agreement. I'm replacing your dog, like, no questions asked, and I'm letting you keep the dog because you love it, right? You don't just stop loving a dog because it has some type of issue. And that's why I said to the guy, like, what are you going to do with the dog? Man, I'm going to just keep the dog. And stuff. Yeah, I get it. Like, I respect that. If it was me, I would maybe, depending on my goals, I may give the dog back to the breeder and start over again. And the love that I had, I just have to refresh it and start over again. Like, guys, like, don't get caught up on just trying to find a dog and rush into purchasing a dog without doing your research on the pedigree, understanding what you're getting, making sure that the breeder is a breeder and not a backyard breeder. So, like, do your history. Like, I mean, do your research. Like, understand the history of the program. Like, are you buying from somebody that you look at their facility like, man, are they going to be able to afford to replace my dog in the future? Are they even going to be around in 2 years? Because so many people start off trying to breed dogs and they get into year 2 and they've had a litter because they bred the dog before the dog 2 years old and on the third heat cycle. That's what you should do ethically. That's another question to ask. How old is the parents? What heat cycle is the dog on? How old is the male? Do y'all even, like, these are things that ethical breeder actually does. They wait to the male 17, 18, 19 months old, and typically closer to 19 months. They wait till the female, the bitch, is 2 years old and had 3 heat cycles. Like, I'm not breeding a dog, a bitch that's ain't on third heat cycle and 2 years old. I'm not doing it. I'm not trying to get a quick hit on money. I'm trying to do the right thing by the dog still first. So if you're dealing with somebody and you're looking at buying a dog, these are things you should process and think about that you may not have thought about before until you heard this video. So now you know, you can't say you didn't know because you're hearing it, what you should look for and what you should think about that's involved with just buying a dog. Take the emotion out of it. Take it, because this is an emotional purchase. You are pretty much bringing in another family member. Take the emotion out of it. Make it a business transaction. Make sure you protect yourself. You're not buying from somebody that doesn't breed dogs ethically. And if you are buying from a professional breeder, you have an actual contractual agreement, not a verbal agreement. You know the history of their program. You're comfortable knowing that they're going to be around in 2 or 3 years when, if the dog has some issues, it's going to happen. Like, do your research. Like, know the parents. How do the parents look? Visit the kennel. I had a guy call me and tell me, man, I asked the guy, can I come by and visit his kennel and see his program and see what the dogs are like? He's like, the breeder guy offended. And he pretty much stopped talking to me. He blocked me because I asked to come visit his kennel. That happens a lot. Like, for some reason, some breeders don't want you to come to their facility to see how the dogs are actually living. That's a red flag, guys. Like, that's a red flag. I can stop this camera right now and it will take you with me if I didn't have all this hooked up, and I can show you the kennel right now. Like, I'm on top of my shit. My dogs ain't living in dirty stuff, in dirty conditions, and not healthy conditions. Like, that ain't happening. I get people that pop up here all the time to come to my facility to buy raw dog food because y'all know I sell raw dog food. My locals come here and they may say, hey, Rich, can I see the dogs? Hell yeah, let's go. So, again, guys, like, think about it. Take the emotion out of the beginning of the sale. Treat it like a business transaction because you are taking your hard-earned money. That $1,500, $2,500 is a lot of money. You bust your ass for it. So make sure that when you invest in a dog or anything that you do your research, like real research. Make sure you touch, feel, smell, do whatever you have to do to be more comfortable than somebody say, oh, you got a special dog, you got this, you got that, oh, I'm gonna cut you a deal. Guess what? Richard DeBerry ain't cutting no deals. The price of the dog is to the price of the dog. And I don't do the game of picking the litters one, this amount of money, picking the litters that number pick, the minimum. No, the price of the dog is the price of the dog. My puppies are $5,500, and everybody that calls me, they know, and nobody calls me and say, hey, can you give me a deal on the dog? Because they know I'm not doing it. The price of the dog is the price of the dog. My dogs eat premium dog food. They live in a very established facility that's clean, neat, and I do health checks. I check every box I can to make sure I don't ruin my name and my reputation. That's what that's about. It's about me. Because I'm selfish, I'm prideful, and I ain't putting nothing out there that I'm not going to have pride and I'm going to be confident that I'm putting out there. I'm not doing that. I don't cut corners on nothing. If you know me, or if you getting to know me and you see what's happening around here, like if Richard DeBerry step in to do something, I'm going hard. So get the fuck out the way, because I'll run you over to get to my goals. Like, I'm that guy. I don't play them games. I don't have a lukewarm button. I'm either hot or cold. I'm either in or out. I'm not in the middle. I don't vacillate back and forth. I'm coming full speed. And that's what I'm doing with these dogs. I'm coming full speed. That's what I'm doing with my raw dog food business. I'm coming full speed. I don't have any other button but go. No brakes, all gas. Get out the way. I'm coming. So that's my mentality. And look, man, everybody doesn't think and move like I do, and I don't expect them to. But anybody that does business with me, and even on the raw dog food section, y'all that have purchased of something from me and you've had any type of issue, I'm calling you myself and fixing it. I'm not having one of my assistants or somebody that worked for me call you. Like, I'm handling it hands-on because I first appreciate the fact that you trusted it to do business with me. Second, if you got an issue, I'm gonna treat it like it's me having an issue. If I got a problem with a company, I want you to fix it immediately. Like, I spent my money, make me happy. That's what I'm doing. In every aspect of when you do any type of transaction with me, if you ain't happy, I'm gonna tell you, like, I'll give it to you sometimes. Like, hey, just take it. Don't worry about it. No, Rich, I done done stuff with people that had little issues with purchasing me on the raw dog. I just gave it to them. Like, look, you keep it. I'm gonna send you another one. Like, I'm about making people happy. I ain't gonna let you take advantage of me because I'm not stupid. But if you got a real situation and you got a concern, I'm gonna handle it. I'm gonna handle it professionally. I'm gonna handle it efficiently. I'm just gonna be handled promptly. You won't have to delay and wait for me to address an issue that you may have with me. So guys, remember this. If you think that spending $5,500 is a lot of money for a dog, or $4,500 is a lot of money for a dog, think about the reverse side. When you spend $1,500, $2,500 for a dog, and you had that dog for a year and a half, 2 years, now you got the $55,000, $6,000, $7,000 in the dog, or the dog has to have a surgery because the dog is genetically screwed, and now you got $7,000 to $10,000 in a dog that's not even gonna live the lifespan that the dog should live. Which side of the coin do you want to be on? Or if you had an issue, you can say, hey, Mr. Breeder, here's my issue. The breeder say, you know what? I'm sorry if this happened. This is what we're going to do to fix your situation, and we're going to fix it promptly. My next litter, handle. You can't erase the fact that if you purchase a dog, something happened to the dog. Nobody's program is that perfect. Nobody's. But how a person, a breeder, a professional breeder handles the situation, if there is one, is what matters and what's going to count, what's going to give you a better feeling when you're in an emotional state of being pissed off and hurt and frustrated that you've invested this money, time, energy, and love this animal that has an issue, and then you go talk to the breeder, and guess what? You can't find them. They're gone. They're blocking you. They're ghosting you. They disappear. Compared to somebody saying, hey man, I'm here for you, I'm with you, I understand that dog is still kind of like my dog, but it's your dog, but I'm in this with you, I'm gonna help you, this is what we're gonna do, are you comfortable with this? Like, think about it guys, like take your time when it comes to buying these dogs and you're trying to get deals. When you hear a breeder say they're gonna give you a deal on a dog, red flag, they negotiating prices and stuff with you, red flag. Like, I get pissed off about it, to tell you the truth. Like, it pisses me off. Like, I'm really pissed, and I'm trying to be cool about it because I get all these calls, and I'm like, dude, you called me a year ago, and you told me that $5,500 was too much for a dog, and now you got $8,000 in a dog that has issues. I feel sorry for you, but I tried to help you. But man, I'm gonna get off this rant, man, because like I said, this is something I get really emotional and passionate about. Like, take your time, guys. Do your research and inspect what you expect. Don't just take my word or another breeder's word for what they say they've done to the dog. Health test, they should have proof of it. Pen-up test, it comes with a score, not just an x-ray. It's stuff that you can do to minimize your risk from your investment that you're putting into this animal that's going to be like a family member to you. Hey, I'm done. But you already know what it is. Get you a presser.